If you are looking for some support for current affairs, if you are a fresher, you are a working professional, you are a repeater, but you want some support for current affairs, then I have a program for you. I have given the brochure and also the announcement video link in the description. You can watch if you are interested. Hello all, welcome back to Current Affairs Hitlist series. I'm Guna Mathivanan from Offices IAS Academy. In today's video, we are going to discuss about Higgs Boson. This topic is technical, friends, so try to follow me, right? See, so let's take Guna. So assume that I am 100 kilos, right? 100 kilos is my weight. What is my mass? What is my mass? Mass refers to actual stuff inside my body. What is stuffed inside? I am made up of what? That is something stuffed inside. That stuff is called as mass. This weight is influenced by gravitational force. Now, I am weighing 100 kilos in Earth. You go to International Space Station, there is a weighing machine. If I stand above it, it will not show 100 kilos because the gravitational force of attraction is less there. Here it is more. I go to moon, my weight will be different. I go to Mars, the weight is going to change. There's influence of the force of attraction. Mass, that refers to what is stuffed. So what is stuffed inside Guna? We can say Guna, the inside made up of flesh, bone, blood, or simply I can say organ. Now what is stuffed inside organ? The tissues. Now what is stuffed inside tissue? I say cells. So like that, if I go deeper, finally I will reach to a point atom. Now what is stuffed inside the atom? Atom is made up of what? So have this proton, nucleus, we can switch it. Nucleus, right? If you break that, you will have proton, have neutron, also have electron. Surrounding nucleus, electron will be revolving around, we all know. Now, if you further go down, what is stuffed inside proton? What is stuffed inside electron? What is stuffed inside neutron? Scientists were researching, and they were coming up with around 12 particles. They were coming up with 12 particles. We are calling it as quark. They're calling it as lepton, right? So around 12 particles. Let's not go into the technical aspect. I'm limiting my discussion from exam point of view only. This is slightly complicated to understand. You have to follow me. Okay. So finally, the researchers agreed that there are 12 particles. Now you take anything. Don't take Guna. You take this pen. You take this whatever matter you see around you. Everything ultimately boils down to atom, proton, neutron. If you break that, you will get 12 items. You're getting finally 12 particles. So scientists were thinking that this universe is made up of 12 particles. But however, scientists were saying it is not just 12 particles. There are some forces. So apart from these 12 particles, there are some forces also present in this universe. There are some forces. See, take two magnets, right? That will get attracted, right? What is making it to attract? There's a magnetic force of attraction. There is some force. This universe has not just particles, it also has forces. So the researchers, scientists, they were coming to a conclusion there are 4 types of forces and 12 types of particles. What are the 4 types of forces? One is the electromagnetic force. Second is the strong force. So what is the strong force? Inside the atom, you have nucleus, proton, neutron, electron surrounding. It comes around the nucleus. This proton, electron, neutron, everything is held together as an atom, right? Something is holding it together as an atom. That something is holding together. That force is called a strong force. Next is weak force. What is weak force? So weak force, take some elements, radioactive elements, they gradually decay. Because of this its properties, they gets decayed, will become other elements. That means what is the meaning? Certain radioactive elements, they will decay. That means the electrons are not held together strongly. That moves out. So the force is not strong. So we are calling that type of force is called as weak force. Then finally we have the gravitational force. The researchers now finally they came with a standard model to understand this universe. The researchers they were saying that universe is made up of 12 particles plus 4 forces. All our physics laws are defined based on this 12 particles and 4 forces. This put together is called as the standard model. Right. Now, mass of the proton was measured. The mass of the electron was measured. Here came shock. The mass of the proton and mass of the electron was measured. The mass of the proton was at least 1 crore times higher than that of the electron. The mass of the proton was at least 1 crore times higher than of the electron. Researchers, they got confused. What is the confusion? For example, take Guna. Assume that Guna is 100 kilos. Assume I am bringing another person. The another person may be 80 kilos. We are able to understand the difference. This person is relatively little thinner when compared to Guna. We are able to understand. But imagine if this person, or when Guna is compared to this person, if Guna is 1 crore times heavier than compared to the other person, this brings confusion, right? How can it be? A small difference is fine. How can it be that much different? It makes us to feel that electron is almost weightless and proton is so heavy. This was creating a challenge for the scientists. They were trying to understand this proton electron. They were not able to understand this difference. Okay, there is a size difference we are able to understand between the proton and electron. But how this much variation? Small variations, maybe how this much variation? So the researchers, they were trying to mathematically arrive at some solution, but they were not able to arrive at the solution because whatever mathematical calculation they do, they are not able to arrive at a fruit. They are not able to arrive at a fruit. So only at this point of time, in 1964, only at this point of time in 1964, a person named Peter Higgs came to the picture. So what Peter Higgs said that okay, let us assume there is a new force. You all know about the 4 forces, but he says that there is a new force. So let's assume that we will give a name. We will give a name as Higgs field. Let's give a name as Higgs field. So what is that field? The field is the area where you can sense that force. Say for example, have a magnet. You have a magnet. Now this magnet is going to create a field. What is that field? So if you bring another magnet closer, that will face that attraction. So when another magnet enters that field, you will experience the force. Outside that, you will not experience. So Peter Higgs was saying that let us assume a new field. Assume a new field, right? Because there's a new force. Let's assume a fifth force, and that force is sensed in a new field called as Higgs, right? And see, this magnet is what is creating. This magnet is what is creating the field. The magnet is a particle, right? So this Higgs field will be created by some particle. So that particle, we are assuming it as Higgs particle. Remember, this is assumption. Remember, assumption. So Peter Higgs was saying that let us assume, because he is giving an answer. He is giving an answer. Let us assume there is a Higgs field. That field is created by Higgs particle. The force is the Higgs force. So he is assuming, and he is explaining to the research community. He is explaining to the research community that see, this proton or electron or whatever inside the atom, right? That is not having any mass at all. It is not having any mass. It is not having any weight. It is not having any weight, nothing. It is not having anything. The weight is because of the protons, electrons interaction with this Higgs field. Understand? Peter Higgs says, he is assuming that there is a force. Force can be sensed in an area that is called as field. So the proton, electron, in real sense, there is no weight. There is no weight. Proton, electrons, they interact with this. It's an assumption. May be true, it may not be true. They are interacting with this field. Based on the level of interaction, they are getting that weight. You want to understand? This is what Peter Higgs. To explain that, he is giving an example only. Imagine a water body. Imagine a water body. Now, in this water body, I am running in that, or I am walking in that water body. The water body is going to, I'm interacting with the water body. I am moving this direction. The water body is going to oppose me. So assume a water body. It is difficult for me to walk in that water body because I am interacting, my body is interacting more with that water body. Now, if you imagine a fish, a small fish, it will easily swim. It easily swim in water. It is because that fish interaction with that water body is less when compared to my interaction with the water body. So it is the interaction that is causing the weight. So Guna's interaction is more, that fish interaction is less. So protons, so he was saying that this Higgs field, something like a water body. This field is something like a water body, and this proton is interacting more with this Higgs field, so proton is getting more weight. Electron, when compared to proton, their interaction is very less, so electron's weight is very less. Okay, so this is what Peter Higgs was saying, and Peter Higgs was saying that so based on this assumption, he was proving that proton electron is not having any separate weight at all. Based on the interaction with the Higgs field, only it is getting that weight. Right? Now, Peter Higgs says this is not an assumption, this is what is the reality. Peter Higgs says this is the reality, and this Higgs field, it is present in every part of the universe. He says this field is there in every part of the universe. He is saying and explaining this in 1964. Right? So he is explaining, and we are able to solve the problem. We are able to understand why proton is heavier, electron is when compared to proton is less heavier. All this we are able to get an answer with the Higgs assumption, but Higgs says it is not an assumption, that is the reality. There is a field, there is a new force, there is a new field which is spread across the universe, and that is what is creating all this. Right? Able to understand? So now we have to prove this. We have to experimentally prove this.